Hello guys, TavHD here and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at this machine yet again. This is a 2011 MacBook Pro, and if you've seen my previous video you will know all about it, so I'd recommend watching that if you haven't already. And this is a special MacBook Pro because it has the anti-glare display. I've always wanted one of these machines. This one came up cheap on eBay, so I decided to buy it. Now there's always a big problem with 2011 MacBook Pros, and that is the dedicated AMD graphics, and it is suspected that the ones in this are on their way out. In the previous video we saw that it had a bit of graphical artifacting on the screen, but because it's got no drive in it we couldn't boot it, so today all we're going to do is try and get this machine to boot. Now whether that'll be possible or not, I don't know. The graphics might completely die and this thing is completely dead. I don't know. I guess that is something we're going to have to see. So in the previous video we tried using internet recovery just to see if this machine would do anything. It seemed somewhat functional, it didn't crash or anything like that, and the boot menu seemed to load up just fine. So it seems that this machine has some sort of ability to work, so today we're going to try and boot it into an operating system to try and work out just how functional it really is. So there's a few ways we could do this. I could use target disk mode and boot another computer's drive from this, or what I've decided to do instead is use this drive. This drive has been used in a few computers of mine now. It originally came from the 2012 Mac Mini I used to have. I upgraded that machine by putting an SSD in it, and then I kept the old hard drive out of it. This has got two partitions on it, one with Mountain Lion and one with Catalina. Now this machine, being a 2011, is not natively compatible with Catalina, so that partition I know for sure will not boot, but it should be able to boot to Mountain Lion because I believe that would have been the operating system from about the time when this was new. This came from a 2012 machine, this is a 2011, but they're both Intel based of the same era, so yeah. This should work with this drive, so let's just try putting it in. Now this machine did not come with the mounting screws to put a drive in it, but that shouldn't be a problem. I should just be able to connect the SATA cable, and as long as I don't wiggle the machine around too much, it should all be okay. So I've left the RAM in here from our messing around last time. Currently got 4 GB of RAM in it, and all I really need to do is get this SATA cable, plug it onto the back of the drive, and we should theoretically be good to go. Of course, as I said, no screws, so I'll just have to hope that it stays still, but the connector is definitely connected. I'll put the back panel back on just so nothing falls about too much. Flip it over carefully, and we should now be able to hopefully boot this thing. So I'll plug the charger in, press the power button, and we should be pretty much set for having this machine working if it wants to work. Alright, so I'm going to turn the charger on, and every time I've turned this on so far it's turned itself on just as soon as the charger's plugged in, which is a bit weird. Not sure if that's just what they do, but so that was a bit weird. The power lights just came on, then the machine went off and I heard the hard drive spin down, so I think it's trying to boot up by itself, which is a bit strange. Huh, so it's turned itself on, which is kind of curious. Not sure if that's just because I've been messing inside it, but it bonged, which is always a good sign, and hopefully if it can find the drive to boot from, we should just get an Apple logo, although I'm not sure whether it'll try to boot from the Mountain Lion or the Catalina. You'd think it would boot to the one which it knows how to boot to, but who knows. If this doesn't do anything, we'll just go into the boot menu and select the correct partition, but hopefully we should get an Apple logo. Yeah, there we go, and I can still see some of the artifacting, but as long as this loads up we should be okay. Yeah, now we've got a spinny wheel, so of course because this is like a decade old hard drive it's not going to be SSD fast, but it is quite a fresh install on there, so hopefully it doesn't take too long. So we now don't have the progress wheel or the Apple logo, and the screen has just gone blank. So either this means it's about to boot up to the login screen or it's died. Could be either. I guess we will wait and see. So it's been 2 minutes and it's still just displaying white. I can hear the fans are spinning. I can also hear the hard drive is reading. I can just about hear it clicking a little bit. Not like bad clicking, but like just normal hard drive noise. So I just thought maybe this doesn't have enough RAM in it to run Mountain Lion, but I've just checked. It only needs 2 gigs of RAM, which makes sense for the time. This has got 4 in it, so it should definitely be able to boot. Let's just press the power button. Just pressing it once isn't turning it off, so let's just hold it down. Yeah. It's now gone off. I heard the hard drive spin down too. Now let's turn it back on and press the option key to hopefully get into the boot menu. Alright, so here we are on the boot menu. There are 3 partitions on here. Computer is indeed working. You can see my trackpad moving. Keyboard is working too, just as it should. So we've got Mountain Lion, Recovery and Catalina. Let's first off click on Mountain Lion. I'm guessing that's the one it was trying to boot to anyway. But let's just tell it to boot to that anyway. Apple logo again. It should load, but hopefully it will. I can hear the fans are starting to go a bit louder, so it might be getting a little bit hot and stressed doing this. And now the screen has just gone white again. It did its loading for a bit, then it just went white. And I think it's just going to hang again in the same place. I'm not sure if this is just struggling to boot because of the hard drive I've put in, or whether this is like the graphics giving up because it's like, nah, this is too much, and it just can't cope, so it's just going white. It's honestly difficult to say, but usually you can see like some light artifacting when it's displaying the white or grey screen. Can't see any of that right now, so I'm not sure if this is just the graphics being silly. I remember in the eBay listing it was booted up just fine, but then after that it had some components taken out of it, and then of course it went through the postal service. So maybe just going through the post has been like the final thing that it could cope with, and now it's just like no. Because it's definitely not going to load up right now. So let's turn that off again. I suspect that it's just been bumped around too much in the post and had too much messing, because it was temperamental anyway, and now I'm guessing it's just like the final straw to make it upset. Let's go back into the boot menu, and this time what I'm going to do is try and boot to the recovery partition. Don't know if that's something you're meant to do, but let's just see if that comes up with anything different. Okay, so the screen has now just gone black. So instead of it going white, it finished doing its swirly loady things, and now it's just gone black, which is curious. Fans are still spinning. I can see that the screen is on because it's kind of a bluish black. Can't hear the hard drive spinning this time, which is a bit odd. Let's see if the keyboard lights up. No, I don't think this is really going to plan. I was kind of expecting it just to boot with some graphical problems, but boot. But it's not. Now we've just got a black screen. So I'm going to leave this for a couple of minutes. I'll try and be patient just to see if anything does happen, because a black screen is different from a white one. Whether that's good different or bad different, I don't know, but let's just leave it a few minutes and see what happens. I'll try shutting the lid. Does it go to sleep? No, it does not, but I believe these do have sleep issues anyway when the graphics go funny. Yeah, still black. Let's just leave it a little bit. Well, it's been a couple of minutes and we are still getting nothing. So let's just turn it off. There we are. It's now off, and let's just try pressing the power button again and letting it boot to whatever it wants to boot to. And let's just see what happens. I'm guessing it'll either just go white or black again, but let's just see. The fact it's still bonging is a good sign, I guess. But let's just see what it wants to do now, but I'm not pressing any keys. And it looks like it has found something, because the Apple logo is now back. Took quite a while for that to come up, actually, about 30 seconds. But it looks like it is still spinning, so it's not frozen yet. I don't know if it is freezing, it's just difficult to really know. And yet again, it looks like the screen has just gone white, and the artifacting disappears once it just goes completely white. So I think it's just that the graphics are giving up at this point. So what I'm going to do is try resetting the PRAM. Not really sure if resetting that would help in this situation, but we might as well give it a go. So that means we have to press Option Command P and R. That's Option Command P and R. Can't exactly reach, but let's do this anyway. So let's see if that did anything. I think that worked, because it did take a while for it to do anything, so I think pressing those has done something. Whether it'll actually fix anything, I don't know. I'm guessing probably not, but let's just see. So it looks like it's about to load up again, but I'm guessing it'll just stop, because that seems to be what it likes to do. Now the hard drive's making quite a noise, like it's being read to quite aggressively. It's not made such a noise before, or maybe I've just killed the drive by keep power cycling it. Oh wow. So it did something different then. Oh wow, I was not expecting that. Well, that's cool. So I just got my first look at some terrible artifacting, and then it went dim, but then it booted. We're at the login screen with brightness control, and also the keyboard lighting is working as well. I'm actually quite confused, because it just looked like it was about to explode and die. Yet here we are on the Mac Mini login screen, and it looks like this thing's gonna boot. We're at the desktop. So that's cool. Trackpad is working. No graphical problems now. There's no artifacting. The artifacting has legitimately all gone away. I'm so confused. Yeah, look at it. There's no artifacting now. There's no lines. Now this might be like a person before they die. They like seem to be looking like they're getting better. Then all of a sudden they die. So I'm guessing that's probably what's going to happen here. It looks fine now, but I'm guessing it'll probably just completely die in a few minutes or something like that. But yeah, it's on. Look at that. I don't want to stress the graphics too much by doing that sort of thing. There's no artifacting right now. So let's take a look at what the specs are showing as. 2.3 GHz Intel Core i7, 4 GB of DDR3. Let's go into more information here. So yeah, there we are. 15-inch early 2011. HD graphics 3000. So what about the AMD graphics? Why aren't they showing up there? Is it because they're not currently running on that? The HD 6750M is indeed showing up, although I don't want it to. I want it to go away and never come back, to be honest. But, you know, that's something we can deal with in the future if this thing is going to continue working. And we are running 10.8.5. Moving over to displays, this is the fancy bit about this particular machine. 15-inch 1680 by 1050 resolution. Beautiful display, I must say. Storage, this is the drive we've put in. It's a 500 gig drive, and we are booted off the Mountain Lion. Of course, it is actually a 1 terabyte, but we're just on a 500 gigabyte partition. Going over to memory, as you can see, I put in 2 sticks of 2 gigabytes. I genuinely can't believe that this thing has actually booted. Let's open this really outdated Safari. There's not really anything to see on this machine just because it is such a fresh install. I never did anything with this install. There's nothing really to see on here, but this thing is actually on. It's beach balling right now, so let's just wait for it to finish doing whatever it's doing. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now. It's just beach balling and the fans were ramping up a bit. Currently can't click on anything. I can fiddle in the dock. That's okay, it seems. Yeah, it's fine here. But then as soon as I go back to the desktop, can't then click anything. So I'm not sure. Let's just put it to sleep. Will it go to sleep? You can't see that, but no, it is not going to sleep. Let's open it again. And now we've got a black screen, still with the beach ball. This is somewhat concerning, I must say. I've now lost control, so I think we're just going to have to power this down. Let's try it again. I'm honestly not too hopeful, but let's just turn it on. Screen has gone black. It was booting up, did the swirly things as it has been doing, but now it's gone black, so that's not good. No keyboard control again, no cursor or anything like that. I think this is just a very unwell machine. Let's try it again while doing Command Option PR, because that seemed to do something last time, so let's try it again. Let's see if that has made any sort of difference. So it's now loading with the horizontal lines, but just before that it was kind of flickering. Yeah, I just did it again. There's something up with that. Now the artifacting's gone, now it's come back. I can see the colours shifting slightly as well. Not sure if that will pick up on camera, but it's not crashed yet, it is still going. That's not good. That wasn't good. Yeah, it's gone now. Just saw it die then. I'm going to turn this off now before it causes more damage. Okay, I'm not going to try powering this thing back up today. It's got quite warm, warmer than I would expect for a machine which has pretty much just been trying to boot. So I think it's safe to say that there is something very wrong with this machine, and it does indeed seem to be the graphics. As the seller said, it's temperamental. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it can't. That's how it is with a lot of these 2011 machines. I remember It's My Natural Colour got one a year or so ago. It was a donation, and that worked most of the time absolutely flawlessly, but a few times he did see the graphics play up. Now if I can get this thing to run for long enough in the future, I would like to try the DOS Dude Patcher. It does then mean we'll have issues with sleep and brightness, but having those issues is better than having a completely dead machine. So we will be looking at this again soon, and if we can get it booted just long enough to apply that patcher, we can have this machine working better than it is now. But I'm honestly not too hopeful, but I guess that is something we'll have to see. But that will now be the end of this video. Could I get the 2011 MacBook Pro to boot? Yes. Yes, I could. Just a shame that it then decided that it didn't want to keep being booted. But to answer the question in the title, yes, I could get it to boot, and I am quite happy with that. So I know that the rest of the machine is functional. It's just those stupid graphics. So if we can get those disabled, hopefully this machine will be functional for quite some more time. But yeah, that's just something we're going to have to see, and hopefully we can do that soon, because I want to use this machine. It's such a cool machine, and it's so frustrating that they all have to die because of those stupid AMD graphics. But I guess that is what it is. So thank you for watching this video. Was much progress made? Yes, but also no, because I know that it can boot. It's just it also can't, so it's frustrating, but also kind of good news at the same time, if that makes sense. So thank you for watching this video. We will be looking at this again very soon. I will see you in the next video, which hopefully will be about something that works, although maybe not, because quite a lot of my things don't work, but I guess we'll just have to see. So thank you again, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.